How's everybody doing? Welcome back to another video, guys. Nightshade Blue here, and in today's video we got something a little different. It was requested by one of the viewers to help him with the items. So if you guys don't quite understand the items and you're newer to the game and you're struggling to figure out which items to build, I'm going to talk a little bit about it and which items belong with which characters. So for the bruiser category, you have the warrior crest. Warrior crest is good on basically all bruisers. I prefer to use it in most cases rather than the tank crest. If I'm playing, Greystone, Zarus, Grux, these kind of bruisers, Bale, I prefer this crest. Gives you power, health, omnivamp, and when you damage heroes and kill units, you restore health. It's important to know what your crest offers you guys, because it does matter in the early game. Now, going on to the, actual choices for your crests. You have Judgment, you have Ice Cord Talons, Gravitum, and you have Brutal Axe. Judgment is very good for short trade burst. It's very good for sustain as well. It provides a heal. So I like to use it on characters like Greystone, characters like Zarus. Not so much Grux. I prefer Ice Cord Talons for Grux most of the time. Why? Increases your total power, movement speed, and slow. Grux is a beatdown character. Ice Cord Talons favors beatdown characters. It's easy to walk people down when you have Ice Cord. Gravitum is used for assassins. Grounds mean they can't dash or blink. For some reason, it doesn't work for teleports, but it works for dashes and blinks. So it stops a lot of their mobility. So if you're playing, like I use it on Zarus as well, Grux. Like I use it on any character that I need to catch the enemy, right? If they're playing like Wukong, Scalaris, Gravitum is very strong. Cleanse is cleanse. I'm sure we all know how cleanse works, but if you don't, then if you get CC'd, you activate this, it cleanses all CC and grants you tenacity for 4 seconds. Basic attacks extend the duration of the tenacity, keep in mind. Stamina tonic gains max HP and haste. This is usually built end game full build. I build this on most of my tanks and some of my bruisers. I prefer the, what is it called? The ADC tonic for my Grux, things like that, if I need Omnivamp. But for my tanks bruisers that I don't need Omnivamp, I'll build Stamina Tonic. It's very good. All right, first item, guys, Volcanica. Volcanica is a very low cost item. Its use case is pretty rare for me personally, but it's good for characters that cycle abilities very well, like Crunch, for example. He's a prime example. If you need to cycle abilities, this item simply cycles ability every time you use an ability. It brings your other ability cooldowns down. Reduced for stand switcher, so it's reduced for Wukong by 40%. Gaia Greaves is very good for health, armor, haste, but it also provides you a lot of movement. This is very good for walking people down. If you need to be mobile, this item does the trick for you. It also increases your jump height, which could be good in some use cases. I find it fun to use when I play Grux. You could do a jump pull, and it has a lot of momentum on it. If you have tried it, you know what I mean. Gaia Greaves is a fun item to use. Tyranny. This item just got recently buffed again. I think it actually provides quite a bit of value. The best use cases are characters that like to go when you press your ult. So Gruxes, Rampages, these kind of things, when you press your ult and you like to move and you go, run them down kind of hero, this item might actually just be worth it. It provides a good amount of power, health, haste, and the ability on it, or the passive I should say, is a lot of ultimate haste, which is reducing your ult cooldowns a lot, and it gives you decaying movement speed and haste for a certain amount of time. And if you get takedowns, which if you guys didn't know, takedowns are kills and assists, you will regain the abilities for 8 seconds. Visor Carapace, very popular item, very well used item. I enjoy using this. Very, very good for the early short trades. Good power, good health, great haste. The passive scales with max HP. So if you're more beefy bruiser, the more value you get out of the shield. The damage does cap out based on level, but my best use cases for this item is, for example, if I'm playing Grux, sometimes I like to run this into characters like Yuri's, Wukong's. This item is best used when you are doing burst short trade damage while also trying to mitigate damage. So characters like Yuri's, for example, it's hard to lock them down, but when you hit them with a stun and you do manage to do a little bit of damage, you will do more damage with a shield to yourself. So it's good for short trades, and to keep it simple, that's what it's for. So next item is Overlord. Very rare use cases that I use this. This is a scaling item. When you do get to build it and you do get to scale with it, it is very valuable. It provides a lot of health. Very good for wave clear. I like to run it on Greystone. I'm sure a lot of you do as well. It just provides a lot of wave clear and a lot of health towards the end game. However, it does slack in haste. Keep in mind, haste is very important for builds in the early game. So you will slack in haste. So that is the trade-off. Rebirth. We all know what this is. I'm sure in the high lobbies, low lobbies, everybody's running this. Recently just got nerfed as far as cost. But however, this item, 3rd, 4th, 5th slot, it's pretty broken on a lot of heroes. It's very unhealthy for the game, in my opinion. I do not like this. I do not enjoy this. I don't like using it. I don't like playing against it. It's very annoying. The cooldown's 4 minutes, so it's whatever, but when it's up, it's very annoying to deal with in team fights. Not much to say on it. You die and you get your health back. Keep in mind, it's base health regen, so the health and mana that you get back does not scale. It's just based off of your health, your base health on the character. So it doesn't give tanks any more value. So next item is Salvation. I use this on almost every single bruiser. Grux, Zarus. I think this item is just so good. Just so much health, so much power. Gives you tenacity, which is always good. Scales with HP for shield, just a fat shield. You also gain Omni-Man for 6 seconds. It's just, it's only a minute cooldown, so it seems like you have it like every time you need it. Very, very effective for sustain. I like to run this in my 3rd or 4th slot. Almost every character. Miss Meadow Buckler. Now this item, guys, it's not quite used often, but I don't think some people understand how strong this item is. This is the anti-Shinbi item. I also think it's good against Countesses. You can also run it against Kwongs in the off lane. This item mitigates so much of their magical power. So Shinbi throws dogs at you. This blocks the damage and it charges up each second. So this item is just very strong, provides you a good amount of power, a lot of armor, good amount of health regen, and haste. A lot of stats, a lot of value. This item is very strong. The only thing it slacks is health, but with the armor mitigation, damage mitigation, it's very strong against certain champs like Shinbi. Legacy, not commonly used. I did just recently get reminded of this item. I was like scrolling for my build and I just looked at it. I was like, why have I not been building this lately? This item is very underrated. I think if they're an insanely heavy CC comp and you run this in a team fight, 3 seconds is longer than you guys might realize or think in a team fight. It has good stats, good health, good damage, armor. The best thing is the self-cleanse. So, you know, if they're running like a crazy CC comp, they got a Steel, they got Aurora, they got Countess, they got all these things that just do so much like CC to you. If you're running in a team fight and, you know, this thing activates and they try to CC you, you literally just ignore the CC. It's CC immunity, right? I think this item is very underrated. Give it a try on your bruisers. Give it a try on your Greystone. Give it a try on your Grux. Give it a try on your Bale even, you know. If you're finding that they have a ton of CC, give it a try. Earthshaker just got reworked. It has good power, good health, good haste. They took the attack speed out, which does suck for most cases. One thing I do want to say that in general, guys, the bruiser items that I had realized, there's only 2 items that offer power and attack speed. It's Absolution and Augmentation. I'll get to those in a second. But they took it out of Earthshaker, so now it went from 3 items to 2 items. There is little to none power and attack speed for bruisers, which does suck. It's a little off topic, but I did realize that the other day. It kind of makes builds a little difficult sometimes. But this item is best use cases for characters that are trying to do high ability damage. So I don't find it useful on Grux, for example. It's very useful on Crunch, because Crunch is ability based. It goes up to 12.5%. Almost every time I play Crunch, I build this. It's pretty okay on Bale, I'm pretty sure. I don't run it. I like to play, basic attack Bale, but I've seen people run it on Bales because Bale does do quite a bit of ult damage. So you could increase that by 12%. Any character, guys, that you want to increase your ability damages on a bruiser, give this a try. Draconum. I love this item. I think this item is very strong. I think it's very good. Maybe it's because I play a lot of Grux too. This is a must-have for me with Grux. You get a lot of power, a lot of physical armor. You get haste. The main thing is the healing that you grant. So you get up to 10% additional healing. Or excuse me, 20%. Yeah, you get 20% additional healing. So it does have a stacking effect, but when you play Grux and he has a bleed, it just like it basically max stacks instantly. So you don't really like feel like you're never at max stacks. It's basically max stacks all the time. And on takedown, which, reminder guys, takedowns are kills and assists. When you get a kill and assist, you do restore health based on 120% of your physical power and 6% of your max HP. So, whatever that math comes out to, you heal a good amount. You do notice the heal in a team fight. So yeah, I think it's a great item for healing characters, for bruisers. Emphasis on the healing, guys. Citadel is also a pretty underrated item. I don't see it being used as much. Maybe it's just me. I think it's a great item. It gives you a lot of health, a lot of power, a lot of armor. It does lack haste for me, which that's why I don't build it early. But even though it lacks haste, it has a lot of value for defense. I like to run it on Zarus. Not sure why, I just do, to be honest. Maybe it's because, Zarus is a good engage. He has a great engage tool, and you're usually trying to cage a few people, so you stack your armor and decrease theirs by 20%. But I don't usually run it on characters like Grux, things like that. Usually Grux, I'm not trying to be in the middle of 4 or 5 players. I'm trying to just, catch one slipping. But on Zarus, I'm in the middle of everything, so I find it quite useful. That's my use case for Citadel. Berserker's Axe, more so a jungling item, but it may have some use case in lanes. The reason it's a jungling item is because the passive, the item offers great power, health, haste, and pretty good movement speed. It's pretty good stats in general. The best thing about it is in my opinion, the best thing about it is having the movement speed while crossing fog walls. That allows for, very effective ganks. You basically get to get a burst of speed right before, right as you're ganking. The other passive is when you dash. So characters like Crunch to have a dash, your next basic attack is empowered, and it also provides a slow. So very, very useful for ganks. This is usually a jungling item. Very good on characters like Grux, Kai, Crunch, like any bruiser you could throw this on. If you want the passive, if you want the ganking potential, throw this on. Basilisk. This is arguably one of the best bruiser items in the game, in my opinion. I think this item just provides so much. I've seen them buff it a few times. It's just, I think this item is kind of broken. Like, I try to run it almost every time. I probably don't run it enough, to be honest. But looking at it, guys, it's a great amount of power, good amount of health, and insane amount of haste. 20 haste is a lot on one item. That's very good. Now the passives, you get armor shred and you get movement speed. So you get two. You get not one, you get two abilities on your passive. So you get armor shred 6 times 4.5. What is that? 27%, if I'm not mistaken. You shred 27% armor. I mean, that's quite a bit, right? 27%, and you gain 8% movement speed. It's only 2 seconds, but 8% movement speed, like, it's a lot, guys. This item is insane. I think it's one of the best bruiser items in the game, if not the best. It's definitely one of my favorites. You can run it on, very good on Gruxes. You can run it on Greystone. You run on a lot of characters. Give it a try if you haven't. Basilisk is insane. Also very good against tanks. Tainted Blade, I'm sure we all know how Tainted Blade works. Anti-heal. It's usually a must-have in most builds because there's so many healing characters in this game. If you're a bruiser, you usually need to run this. If your team, the only time I don't run this is like if they don't have like crazy healing, which is like usually never, or if my team has a lot of tainted already, then sometimes I won't need it, right? But 99% of the time I need this. So good power, good health, haste, anti-heal, and your abilities do more damage to targets that are affected by your anti-heal. So pretty simple. Solstice, very good item. I only have few rare use cases. I really like this on Wukong. The stacks generate on movement, so the more you move around, the more stacks you get. So characters like Wukong are very easy to move around with. So let's take a look at it. So it's got power, it's got both sets of armor, so good for, you know, damage sustain. Let's see. So on basic attack, you consume all the stacks, you deal increased damage, and that damage that you deal, it heals for 135% of that damage. So if you have a high power cap, like a high power build, this damage will be increased and then your heal will be increased. So it's good on, you can build it on Zarus's, you can build it on Wukong's. I've seen people on Bale run it. I think it's a pretty good item. If you understand how it works, it's a pretty good item. So give it a try. We're almost there, guys. We got a few more. So Rapture is a on-hit item. I find it useful on Grux, characters that are, you know, you're trying to use your basics the most. Grux, Bale, a lot of basic attack heroes. I think Rapture is very good. Offers a lot of Omnivamp. If you don't know how Omnivamp works, it's different from Lifesteal. Omnivamp is also procced through abilities. Lifesteal is usually just through your basics. It's a good amount of health and a great amount of attack speed. Considering what I had said earlier about the attack speed, this is one of the fewer items that have attack speed on the bruiser category. So if you need attack speed, here is your item. And I usually like to run this on Greystone as well if I'm, you know, trying to deal some damage. Combos well with like Crix, for example, because it scales off max HP. So not only do you get these stacks, but every basic you do, you do on hit damage. So yeah, it's really good for beatdown, sustain, good attack speed. Next item is Absolution. This item I recently fell in love with. I haven't used this item most of my predecessor days, but recently it's been in a lot of my builds. I think it has great stats. Like I said, it's one of the few items that have attack speed and power, so I like to, you know, build attack speed and power on a lot of my bruisers. And on immobilization, you gain 25% damage mitigation, guys, and 40% movement speed. It lasts 3 seconds. So prime example, let's say you're playing Grux. Let's say you misstep and you get caught by a Richter, for example. This is like probably top tier prime example. Doesn't always work this perfect, but I'm gonna give you a perfect situation. Let's say you're playing Grux, it's late game, you're in a team fight, you're about to start a team fight, Richter hooks you, puts you in a bad spot, puts you in the middle of their team kit dumps you. This item will save your life 99% of the time. this item will mitigate 25% of that damage. 25% is insane, guys. It's so much damage mitigated. It will probably save your life. It's just that item where if you get caught by a CC and they just try to kit dump you, if they try to CC chain you and kit dump you, it will help you move out of it and also mitigate a lot of damage. So try Absolution if they have a lot of CC. I love this item. I think it's very, very good on certain heroes. I like it on Bale. I like it on Grux. These kind of heroes that I have, that I'm trying to like get in there and get my hands dirty, I like it. So I think the value it provides, you know, it's a lot. Mutilator, this is a very popular item. I like Mutilator. It's very strong. I think it just got buffed as well recently. It has very good power, very good haste, a lot of Omnivamp. If you're ever laning into this, if someone's ever building this against you, you have to build Tainted, because this item will just give them so much healing that you almost will never be able to kill them if you don't have Tainted. So that's also a very good reason that this item's good. It draws them to build an item. Like if you can draw them, deter them from what they want to do and make them build items based off of what you're building, probably a good thing, because you know, sometimes I don't want to build Tainted, but if a guy runs Mutilator, I kind of have to, or else they'll just keep healing forever. So Mutilator is insane because of the healing. It also is just a tank shredder, as we all know. It deals max health damage, which is just makes, you know, Sevarog Crix feel dookie, because, you know, you're dealing 1% of their health and it stacks up to 3 times. So, and yeah, abilities apply 3. So you're doing 3 times max health once per ability. So, you know, if you're just playing like Crunch and you're just cycling abilities on a Sevarog, and it's just, yeah, it's a lot. It's ridiculous. Augmentation, guys, this is best use case for heroes that like to use, you know, cycle abilities. Like Crunch, for example, is a very good use case. This is also good for short trades. I will run this, if I'm Grux, I will run this against Yuri's. Why, you may ask? Well, if I pull her and hit her, then I get to proc the ability, do burst damage. And that's kind of the emphasis on this item is short trade burst damage. So give it a try in that situation. I think it's very strong. It offers a lot of power, a lot of attack speed, a lot of health, and 20 haste. The stats on this item are actually goated, guys. It's a more expensive item, but it is worth it. This item is very good on certain heroes. I would say best, you know, cases are definitely Crunch is one of them. Zarus is the other one. I would say those are its best. You could use it on, I use it on Greystone as well. Probably wouldn't run it on many other heroes, to be honest. Maybe Bale, but probably not. But yeah, when you do get to run on those heroes, it's very, very strong. And then last one, guys, Aegis. So Aegis provides a lot of power through the passive. It provides a lot of health and it gives you crit. So I normally run this on Greystone, and it also provides total physical armor. So characters that are very good with their sustain, very like beefy characters, this provides a lot of value. It scales with 2.5% max HP. So if you have 5,000 health, you do 2.5% of that, which 10% divided by 4, 10% would be 500. You divide that by 4, so you get 125 power plus 20 power. So this item would give you, like, let's say you had 5,000 HP. This item would give you a total of 145 power, which is a lot of power, guys. So it's a very good late game item. It provides total physical armor value as well, and magical armor, and it doubles when you're low on HP. So this item has a lot of value. It is a late game item. This is a 4th or 5th slot, sometimes 3rd, but usually you want to build this late. So yeah, that's all for the Bruiser items. If you guys like this video, I will talk about the other items in the other categories. I want to start with Bruisers because I play a lot of Bruisers, and I wanted to see if you guys like this kind of video. So this is mostly for the newer players, I do get these questions a lot, like, what should I build, what items are good, what do they do? So hopefully this video helps you guys, and yeah, if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.